That's my test. All right. Well, hello world. Welcome to Raccoon Point Studios. I'm Sean Bombs. This is the AVM where we talk about audio, video, and music production. Today in the studio, I'm going to be talking about the Canon R5, what I use it for, how I got into all this in the first place, and why I use EF lenses. And I'm going to have some footage for you to see, as well as some tests that I did with the newest firmware, 1.6.0. It is a fabulous firmware update as far as giving us more runtime without fear of the camera overheating. It also gives us some better stabilization for video work. A little bit about me. I've been making music for a long time, since the early 90s. I started recording at my house when I was a kid with 2 tape decks, then a 4-track tape machine. Then later on in the early 2000s, I worked at a recording studio with a friend. And then later on in life, I met my wife and we decided to start our own recording business. And that's what we do. And I've always been into photography and video, but I didn't, let's just say I didn't learn the ins and outs of all the camera stuff. I just kind of point it, shoot, everything was auto, and then I would just manipulate everything in software. I just didn't know much. I was just flying by the seat of my pants on my seat of my pants. I shot my first music video on an iPad. That was like 2012. And then I got a Sony camera, which was the Sony NEX5 or something like that, which was a great little camera at the time, so small. It was good for the band because we could just flip up the screen and everybody could see themselves. And again, everything was in auto. So I moved to the Sony A7S II. I just, I never really got on with it. I just didn't take the time to learn it. Then fast forward to Blackmagic Pocket 4K camera. That's when I started to really learn about shutter angle and frame rates and white balance and all that fun stuff, and really actually learning something. So then I sold my Sony camera because I had the Blackmagic camera, I had the Metabone speed booster, and that had EF glass. So I had 3 different systems going at the same time, and it just was too many styles of lenses. It was too much. I got rid of all the Sony stuff, and then I just got all EF glass, and I sold the 4K, and then the 6K Pro came out, got that. You can run and gun with it, or putting it on a gimbal is really great because, you know, you have this flip screen and you can really see it in bright light. So it makes it a really great gimbal camera. And then the 6K I still have, I rigged that one out and I use that for handheld or stationary shots. So the R5, here we are to the R5. So I bought the Canon R on sale 2-3 years ago at Christmas. I love the Canon R, EOS R, it's great, but I was lusting after the R5. I saw all these overheating issues and all these other issues. Eventually, I said, all right, I want that camera for photography because I really got into photography more. I do mostly like landscape and wildlife. And then I have twin boys that I follow around, and they're 4 years old, so I'm filming them and taking pictures of them and just the family life aspect of it. So I wanted something that was, you know, a hybrid camera that I could get good photos, great video, and have autofocus so I don't have to think about it. So my uses for the Canon R5 are this: family and photography. I really love taking this out with the Canon 24-105 EF, and I know it's not fast or anything, it's an f4, but it has image stabilization, and when you pair that with the IBIS of the camera, and I have the ND filter adapter, it makes for a really nice run and gun family capture system. And that's why I use EF as opposed to RF. 2 reasons: because I use Blackmagic cameras and they're all EF right now, and because I like to use the ND filter behind the camera, and I don't have to worry about screwing on anything matte boxes, because I'm just trying to be nimble and, you know, and just incognito with my camera stuff. I bring it to the beach or whatever, and I film my kids, and I just put on the little Rode Mini microphone. You know, I'm just I'm just capturing stuff. I'm not trying to make a movie with this camera. I'm not trying to do anything crazy with it, even though it's capable of all that stuff. That being said, I recently saw that it had the firmware update, and it was supposed to make the IBIS and digital stabilization better. I was like, cool, that could be awesome. So I did some tests with the 16 to 35 EF version 2, I think it is, and that has stabilization. It's the F4 version. The 24 to 105 with its stabilization. And I also did a test with the Loawa 12mm Dreamer lens. I don't really like that lens on people because it's just crazy wide, and you just get that really 1980s Beastie Boy video look. And then I'm testing a 28mm, I think it's a FD, Canon FD vintage lens. And I'll put it in the description. I can't remember. I have two 28mm, and one's a Canon and one's a Pentax, because I went down that rabbit hole too. I really like using the vintage lenses on music videos. They have a cool look to them. So we'll check out those tests. One will be with just the in-camera stabilization, then this digital stabilization, then the digital enhanced stabilization. And then for the manual lenses, there will be no optical stabilization. It will just be the IBIS, then it'll be the digital, then it'll be the digital enhanced. So anyway, this is my first video on this channel about cameras. But if you're new, I do music video stuff, music production stuff. So far, most of my videos are all guitar pedals right now, because I am a shoegazer, if you will. I love all the pedals, the fuzz pedals, delay pedals, reverb pedals, and just getting into the camera stuff. And I don't claim to know everything, but I do know a little, and I'll share that with you, and I hope you share stuff back with me. If you're into that, please consider hitting the subscribe button, hit the little bell, and thanks for sticking around. Bye.
Hello there, matey. We got the 12mm Loawa Dreamer lens on a monopod resting off me belly. Alright. No digital stabilization. No optical stabilization. No stabilization whatsoever. And we're just gonna walk and see what happens. It's much easier to vlog. Pro tip, even though I don't really vlog, it's much easier if you put it on a monopod and with a little ball head, and that way you can hold it far enough away from you and you're not putting all the weight in one spot. It actually doesn't even feel that heavy right now. Okay, now we have the IBIS from the camera on, and just so you know, whenever you do this and you're using a manual lens, you want to type in the millimeter lens that you're using. Otherwise, the IBIS will be very wonky. Trust me, I forgot to do it before and it did not look good. So I'm using a 12mm Loawa. This is the walk vlog test, I guess. And let's see how it looks when we get it into the computer. All right. Okay, now we have the IBIS with the digital IS. And let's take a walking test. You should be able to see the warbles and the wobbles and the weebles and the funkiness. I mean, honestly, this lens is gonna be looking funky anyway because it's an ultra wide. So I would expect things to look a little funky, but let's see what happens with all things considered.
And now we have digital IS enhanced. As you can tell, it's punched in a lot more. And let's do the walking test. It's like I'm rocking a gimbal. No, it's not. I highly doubt that, but we'll see what happens. I mean, maybe it's just not as jarring. I don't know until I get it in the computer. Okay, bye. All right, so this is the Canon EF16 to 35 4 with image stabilization, optical image stabilization. I think that there's no way to turn off IBIS on the camera, so I think that's on, and there's no optical and no digital. So let's take a walk, shall we? And this is at 16 millimeters, because from what I gather is the warble has been with these wider lenses, or wider, yeah, focal lengths. So that's at 16. Let's check the next one. Okay, y'all, so this is with the optical stabilization on and the IBIS. So let's take a walk. And let's see what that's gonna look like. Who knows? Who knows, my friend? Who knows? Yes. All right. And we will check the next one. All right, so this is IBIS, optical, and digital. Wait, let's stay in here for 1 second so you can get the, what's it look like if I'm just standing here holding the monopod and I'm out in front of a 7-Eleven thinking about Slurpees. Let's test the Slurpees today. Do any of these Slurpees have ND filters built into them? I think the Mountain Dew Red Code. Oh yeah, Red Code, baby. All right, do they even do that? I haven't been to a 7-Eleven in like a decade, so I have no idea. All right, here we go. All right, and now, and this is enhanced with IBIS and optical. Enhanced. So this is, whew, all the stabilization coming at you in all of Canon glory. Woo-hoo-hoo. So, you know, if you're a vlogger, this may or may not be awesome for you. You know, I don't know. I don't know what everybody's using to vlog. All right. But, you know, if you're riding a dirt bike, I guarantee you're not vlogging with this. All right, so. All right, we're at 24. No stabilization anywhere to be found except for IBIS is probably on. I think that's how it works. I'm sure somebody will let me know in the comments, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. And let's take a walk. It's beginning to look a lot like IBIS everywhere you go. Can we get a smooth tracking shot when I talk? I don't know. All right. I know. Hi. All right, next. Hello? All right, so this is optical and internal IBIS. So, how does it look? Is it marvelous, baby? Is it marvelous? Let's take a walk down the old hallway. Don't ask, I'm just gotta talk to myself. I talk to myself cause there is no one to talk to. Oh man, that's an old song, huh?
Showing my age, baby. Showing my age. All right. All right, all right. So next, we're gonna do something else. All right, optical and IBIS, internal IBIS, and digital on a 24 to 105. And this is at 24 mil, because what do you think I am, crazy? Huh? You think I'm crazy enough to, you think I'm gonna vlog like this? You think I'm gonna vlog like this? Come on. All right, so here we go. Walking, talking, acting a fool. Yeah. All right, what do you think? What do you think? Can we be the best vlogger YouTube has ever seen? I don't know. All right. All right, so now we are optical, IBIS internal, and digitally enhanced on a 24 to 105 at f4, ISO at 800, C-Log 3, Cinema Gamut, because I'm a fucking movie producer, dude. And then, what else do we have to let you know? I have the adapter with the ND filter in there. Probably don't need that on, but that's how I rock it most of the time. Unless it's really dark, then I will take it out. But I usually just leave it in there. Unless I'm doing lots of photography, and I know that's what all I'm doing. And I'm going to be inside, you know? Because I don't want that grain, extra noise. All right, so that's that. Let me know down below. All right, so we are Canon FD 28mm f2.8. It got much darker in my house because the storms are coming. So this is with no IBIS, no digital stabilization. Hopefully I'm in focus, because for some reason the adapter that I use with this is making the Canon R5 think that I have a digital lens on it, and so it's not giving me any peaking. And now we have lights, so there's cross lighting going on in here right now. So I am walking, and there we go. All right, so that is no stabilization. All right, so now we have IBIS on, and the problem is that, like I said before, is this adapter that's on the Canon FD has some contacts on it, whereas my other ones don't have gold contacts, so it's making the camera think that it has a automatic lens on it. So it's not letting me type in the focal length for the IBIS, so it might not work as good as it could. Or it might, who knows? I don't know. Maybe it knows what it's seeing, but right now it has the IBIS, so I'm gonna walk around Canon FD 28mm. Like I said, hopefully I'm in focus, because even at f4, this older kind of lens still has a much different depth of field than a newer lens for some reason. Could be out of spec, who knows? All right, okay. IBIS with digital stabilization on. Hi, there's some light. It got really dark because, I said it before, there is a storm a-brewing here in Maryland. I forgot to mention that earlier, that me and my wife had a studio in Philadelphia for 6 years, I think, and then we moved to Maryland, and that's when we built the Raccoon Point studio, and it is near lots of lovely places in the middle of nowhere, but the people are real nice around here and we love it. All right, so last test. This is the Canon FD 28 with IBIS on and digital stabilization completely enhanced. And like I said before, I cannot type in the millimeter focal length because it thinks that it's seeing something. So maybe I gotta see if I can find a adapter that doesn't have gold contacts, making my camera think it's got a automatic on it. My babes back there watching their TV. They had a fun little party today. All right, and that be the test.